Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be looking at what I'm affectionately calling the Beast Wars B team, with pretty much all the Predacons that I have, plus a few of the extra Maximals that are toy exclusive versions here. And, well, this is also a sequel to my Beast Wars Season 1 cast review, with a few molds, as you can see here, being a bit familiar, especially in previous reviews with Tarantulas being in my Cliff Jumper 4-pack review. And these four, yes, these four here being a part of my, say, Beast Wars, like, Season 1 review. So, yeah. So I wanted to get all these guys out of the way because, honestly, I am not feeling a good, well, I'm not feeling some of these figures. I'll explain them once we get to some of them, but, like, personally, I'm happy to have the entire crew of the MAXIMALS. I don't have a complete set of the Predacons, so honestly, I'm just happy with this. And also Dragon Megatron. But yeah, so let's go from worst to best, in my opinion. But first things first, we need to get all this out of the way. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot. And I'm going to be very quick on the transformations for some of these because, well, I'm recording this before another storm hits, and I'm trying to get this recorded way before it actually starts, so, yeah. So, here we have Scorponok, his more, I think, toy-accurate deco, if I'm correct. And, it looks like a scorpion, I guess. Technically an arachnid, and it's, not good. Fortunately, he's the most not best out of the entire review, alongside Tarantulas, in my personal opinion. Because, for one, look at that. Just look at that. You can see the entirety of his robot head there. Like, it doesn't even fold in all the way, or at least I don't remember if it does, because it's been a hot minute since I've, well, messed with this figure. And honestly, I think they could have done better. But yeah, so articulation in bug mode. Ball joints on this limb here. For these two limbs, they're all connected on one, and this was just one ball joint, with these essentially being the arms. You can open them up and show off a Cyber Bee, which is pretty cool. And it is removable. So, that's cool. This explosive cyber spy. And then in the other claw, we just get a pair of missiles with the Maximal logo on them. And if my camera would focus, please. Yeah. But yeah, let's quickly transform this guy. So start off with unorigami the legs, just like this. Then untab the entirety of this leg here from the tail. There we go. Lift it out. Bring all of this out. Rotate it forward. There we go. Bring the entirety of the waist up. Make sure it tabs into place. An interesting detail inside. I don't know idea what that is. Is that meant to be like his spark or something? I honestly don't know. Correct me in the comments. Also, speaking of which, I'll have all the videos linked in both in the description and in the pinned comment, along with my little playlist of all my Transformers reviews. So, well, since we're now back here, we're at the fiddly step of just wrapping all of the extra legs that pop off on very loose ball joints. Then we are done. So he is very short. Like, like, it's not bad. It's just a figure that, while having very translucent esque clear plastic, especially on entire limbs here, like on the legs, I've seen also weird breakage reports here on the black plastic here in the back. It's so weird. It's not my favorite figure, so I honestly don't plan on keeping it. So, but it does have interesting gimmicks. Like, he has no hands, but he can fire off the missiles if you have blast effects. Yeah, I think I can get his Cyber Bee to at least look like he can fire it off, because there and there, I think, kind of, sort of. There we go. See, I can make it look like he's firing his Cyber Bee. This is cool. Sorry about that cut right there. Loud noises and smoke alarm went off because, well, someone was cooking downstairs. So yeah, sorry about that cut. But anyway, back to this. So as you can see here, he has his more mutant head applied. In the multi-pack this guy came in, he came with 2 heads. This is his other head, which is, this is not custom paint. This is how it was out of the box. You can't just rip his head off and then replace it with this one, giving him his more cartoon-accurate look, which I personally don't care for. It's just, for one, it is painted very ugly, and it is also just... It looks like it's trying to be the Predator from, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but, like, horrible, in my opinion. So I just tend to rip it off, leave it to the side, and just leave this more toy-accurate head on. Just leave it at that, honestly. But yeah, articulation for this guy. This guy has a ball joint at the head that Scorpion Tail can move. I think it could also move just up here on and the ball joint in his Scorpion mode. Arms are on the full 360, can go out that far. Bicep rotation. Elbows go to 90. I think either way, that's cool. There is a wrist swivel. Again, I use that in quotation marks. And then the claws can open. There is a waist swivel, but you're not going to get much out of it because it bumps up next to the Scorpion Tail. Legs can go forward and back, not that far out. Okay, there's a thigh swivel. Knees are actually not bad. Then the ankles can pivot side to side, and then each foot is different because one is tipping down the entire foot, and the other is just taking the actual tip of the foot, which is weird. Like, it's just weird. It's like, this figure is weird. It feels very underbaked, if that makes any sense. But anyway, let's move on to a slightly better figure is what I was going to say. That being the other, like, another, like, toy accurate, like, version, or at least I think, maybe, but yeah, this is Black Arachnia in her Smart mode. This was also, I think, in a 4-pack. I think in the first ever Buzzworthy bundle will be 4-pack. And also, if this looks different from that, it's because I switched the legs out with the regular Kingdom version to give her more animation accurate version look without needing to buy an entirely separate figure pack with a probably better painted other figure that I don't know what comes included with it. But anyway, yeah, so just imagine this on this, and honestly, I feel like this honestly works a lot better in my opinion. The black legs with, like, the entirety of this just honestly looks a lot better than just the random bit of gold. But yeah, so let's get her transformed. Okay, first things first, take off the crossbow here, and then just untab the arms from the feet, pull all of this out, rotate it around, move the shoulders out, then we can untab the legs from the buttocks, I guess, and also all of these are on ball joints that come off way too easily, so be wary. So, and that's pretty much all the articulation the spider mode had. So just unfold the legs out, fold the head through this, push all this back in place, feed the spider head through, and make sure to fold this piece back, and then you can clasp it onto the back, and then just straighten everything out. Arguably a very simple transformation. Like, it essentially just explodes outward. So, yeah. Here we have the more toy accurate, I guess, version of Black Arachnia with a, why the leopard print? I don't understand the leopard print. If someone can explain that in the comments, please do. Like, what design choice was that supposed to be? But yeah, I do feel like the black works a lot better than the gold, in my personal opinion. And speaking of which, here's the original version to compare against. So yeah. This is something that I haven't fixed on both of these figures, is that since I haven't really messed with both of them, I haven't really fixed the joint tolerances. So, at the very least on my copies, these are both pretty loose. So, yeah. There we go, side by side. Here it is next to the more toy-inspired version of Tarantulas, if I am correct. So, that's cool. But, yeah. Anywho, articulation for this gal, there is a hinge where the neck meets the chest, where the transformation joint is, and a ball joint at the head, so you get some pretty good range of movement up here. Full 360 at the shoulders, arms can go out that far, and have 2 rotations, and also a 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist due to it being a claw, nothing at the waist due to how this transforms. Legs can't really go forward all that far. Legs can go back pretty far though, and also have a thigh rotation. Can go out very far. Can go way over 90, which is really nice. And the ankle can bend forward, but not all that much back. And the ankle pivot is essentially 290. And then you can give her weird crossbow gun. And then, I don't know, put her in some better pose that I have here. Or have, like, I think the tips of the... Trying to find a blast effect. I think the tips of the guns or the tips of her, like, claws, or whatever the legs are called in Spider Anatomy, are technically blast effect compatible, but then again, I'm pretty sure you have to get smaller ones than these to get it to work, and I do not have those on hand at the moment. So, anywho, let's move from one spider to the other. I'm just going through all the insects here at the moment. So, yeah. So, Tarantulas. He is technically missing an accessory, but then again, that's mostly because I gave it to another figure, that being the Prime Knockout, because I feel like he needed a buzzsaw, and not him for some reason. I don't know why he came with a buzzsaw besides referencing his Transmetal 2 alt mode. And even then, I don't know if that version is going to get made because of, like, Chrome or whatever replacement Hasbro hasn't figured out yet, doesn't exist yet. Which sucks, because I think the Transmetal 2 version of this guy is a lot better than his base form here. But, anywho. Again, ball joints on each of the legs, and the arms slash pincers up here can move to the side and slightly move on the mushroom peg. So, yeah. So start off with untab the legs, and then you can remove the gun, fold them all out, and then untab the abdomen from what would be the chest, bring out the arms via untabbing them from this, bring all of this out and about and down, rotate the entirety of the chest forward, and then bring this up and tab it into place there, and then bring the arms down with rotating the entirety of the arms forward. So, and here we have the mad scientist Tarantulas in his robot mode, and again, I feel like that is a problem on both of the spider bots, is that, for me, I don't like messing with this figure because this figure has so much clutter around the arms. Now, just look at it. 90% of the mass of the arms is the legs, and that is honestly kind of annoying. But, yeah. So, here he is next to his toy accurate-esque colors. So here we have the more mutant mask head, which was his cartoon head, compared to the more robot mode face. Here he is next to the other spider bot of the review, which arguably matches his colors a little bit more, just a little bit. And the more show accurate version. So yeah, and also, because I forgot he exists, like, that just shows you how not good this mold is. Because that, here's Scorponok, and Tarantulas can't help but fall down at the moment. I don't know why. But stay up, please. Come on, work with me. I am the maker of my own downfall. But yeah, here are all the ones here are all the ones in the review so far. And first things first, get this guy's articulation out of the way. Ball joint at the head, can't really get much side to side due to how big the head is. Also, honestly, nice paint on there. Ball joints on each of these, full rotation, shoulders can go out that far. Technically a double bicep due to the hinges, or the swivels. Very low elbow bend, which looks very awkward. You can also put the gun in here. Waist rotation. Legs can go forward and back that far, out that far. Then double knee bend. It's really nice. Ankles can go forward and back. Or forward and then back. Then over 90 degrees of bend at the ankle. So not a bad mold, but it's personally not my favorite, and I just tend to keep this on display with my other Predacons. And that's really it. So, yeah. So let's get on to the arguably more better molds of the review. That being, well, let's get Pterosaur out of the way. This being his more toy-accurate colors, considering his mold was originally a Amazon exclusive, and then this became a store exclusive, along with the Dinobot that's in this review as well. Same wave, actually. So yeah, you can store the gun here on the side, and also this is an extensive remold of the Air Razor mold, which is honestly impressive, and apparently they're also using this mold as a basis for their new Rathalos Prime, which is honestly pretty cool. Can my camera stop shaking, please? Okay, there we go. But yeah. So, I do recommend trying to hunt down the original version of this guy instead of just this one, because, oh boy, it is a lot of red. I'm pretty sure they couldn't paint on this plastic because of its function, I guess, or maybe the paints wouldn't mix well with these types of plastics. But, like, just the green stripe of green polka dots down here and on the chest. Like, this guy needed a better red, or honestly, I feel like this needed to be the blue version. because I think there is a blue version of this mold, or at least the original toy, if I'm correct. Correct me in the comments. But yeah, so his beak can open up and just yap. Full rotation here at the head. We get a double hinge there. Officially, the hinges are, at least according to transformation, are right here and right here. So you get 2 hinges, but you can technically use the other transformation hinges for whatever flapping poses you need. Ankles are on ball joints, and that's really it, besides this one hinge right here. So yeah, let's get on to transformation. Start off with rotate the head around, bring it all back. Then you can flip the actual head out. Untab this from the butt here, and then you can untab the legs from the sides, rotate them around, do the same thing on the other side while rotating the entirety of the waist around, and also rotate the feet forward. Rotate these around, then bring all of this down, making sure to tab this tab into this port right here. Tabbing it in right there. And there we have Pterosaur in his robot mode. And honestly, not a bad robot mode, even though it is pretty much just the Air Razor mold with a lot of retooling. But like, that was still a good mold. But like, as you can see here, oh boy, a lot of junk back here. And it does make him back heavy, as you can see. But sometimes you just gotta get it balanced just right. But yeah. Honestly, again, this is a pretty good remold. I do recommend trying to hunt down the original version, or maybe the Takara 2-pack version that I think exists. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember what that one looks like fully. But yeah. Because that's honestly better colors than just the sea of red here. Which... So yeah, let's get a good look at that face. Very Starscream-esque face, and why? I don't know, the camera's freaking out a little bit. But yeah, honestly, it's not bad. So, for articulation, there's a ball joint at the head. You can also technically use the hinge that it transforms with as well. Full rotation here. The wings technically still have a bit of movement, like with the outwardness here. That is a common problem on this mold, where the wings just pop off. And then also this hinge right here. You also get this gun that you can tab in right here, or right here on the hip, which honestly is what I prefer. So, elbows can go a little bit over 90, nothing at the wrist besides the transformation joint. There's a waist rotation, pretty nice. Legs can go forward that far, it can go back that far, and out that far. Thigh rotation, knees can go over 90 in like the classic Superman pose. You technically get some forwardness out of this bend here, but that's just breaking the leg, and the ankles are on the ball joint. So yeah, honestly, not a bad mold. I do recommend hunting down some of the repaints of this guy, but do I recommend going after this version? Unless you really, really like the original toy and want a modern, newly articulated version of it, I do say go for this guy then. But if that's not the reason why you want to get this mold, then it's your choice. But anywho, quick size comparison. Here he is, next to Scorponok, next to Black Arachnia, there we go, next to the Tarantulas mold, and let's continue. So, let's get on to our next deluxe offerings. That being Shadow Panther, Night Prowler, Sky Wasp, and Waspinator. So these all four being the same molds. I'm just going to do the transformation for two of these and then do the other two off camera. So, yeah, so Waspinator here being the original, like, all the poor Bob we all feel sorry for, especially after he gets ripped apart time after time after time after time. It honestly gets absurd to a certain point. And Skywasp here is, I think if I'm correct, both Skywasp and Night Prowler here were unreleased Halloween decos, I think. Or at the very least, they were unreleased decos that now have new toys. Shadow Panther here is just again, both of these are repaints of Cheetor, but like he's the like mutant head version of Cheetor that exists. And honestly, again, I say it's a fun mold. I honestly don't understand people that hate it. But anywho, so let's do the ones that'll be better on camera. So we'll do the transformation for Night Prowler first. First things first, well, articulation. Full rotation here, ball joint at the shoulder, hinge, ball joint. Then these are just the legs back here with a extra hinge and ball joint. And the mouth can open up and scream. Meh. So yeah, so rip off the tail. The little weird tail axe thing. Fold the legs out, fold the feet out while folding up the animal legs back here. And then fold these down, and then untab the entirety of all this. Flip the mouth down, and then bring the entirety of the head inward, making sure this tab goes into the top of the mouth. Just like that. Bring the arms up. You can bring these side panels in. And then bring these around. And rotate the head around, and then you just clean up the kibble in the back. There we go. So, we'll get to this guy's articulation in a minute. Let's do the transformation for Waspinator real quick. So, for Waspinator's articulation, there are just ball joints at the wings, and then the legs here are on pins / mushrooms back here. The mouth can open, technically, because of the pincers up here. This is arguably a more realistic looking wasp, but then again, it looks kind of close to the show model. Because I think the show model is a bit more disgusting looking, I think, if I remember. But anywho, first things first, rip off his wings. No. That's just a joke. Just take the legs out and forward, and then just pop all of this assembly out. Rotate it around, straighten out the legs, fold the feet forward, just like so. Rotate the bug legs forward. And there we have a walking wasp. But yeah, for the rest of the body, I just collapse all this down, just like this, just like so. Untab the arms and bring them out to the side. Straighten them out. Bring the bug legs to the sides, and then rotate the hands forward. Bring all of this around. Collapse this backwards and make sure to expand the head outwards, so that way you can tab it all in to the back here. There we go. And also reattach the head, just like so. And here we have Waspinator, arguably my favorite deluxe out of this entire whole set, including the Cheetor mold, in his robot mode. And honestly, this robot mode looks really good. Like, it is very much, well, I think besides some paint here and there, because not everything is completely 100% perfect, but this is close to perfect as I'm going to get, because honestly, I like this guy. Like, I can honestly do without the legs here, but then again, I can just remove them thanks to the mushroom pegs and give it a more cleaner look, which makes it just looks very good. But anywho, let me get the other two versions of this guy all transformed. Okay, and here is a Shadow Panther, and here is a Sky Wasp. Let me get everyone moved a little to the side. Nope. Today is the review of all the figures that fall backwards, because apparently that's just how it is. So yeah, honestly, really fun mold across the board. I do kind of like the Sky Wasp version of it more, but then again, he also has options, kind of like how the Scorponok did, because as you can see here, this is a different head from this version, but he does include the regular mutant mask version of the head, which has amazing light piping, by the way. I gotta say, this, while light piping is rare, it's surprisingly really nice. So yeah, as you can see, just a nice red glow with like a purple over here. But yeah. So, also if you want to get a look at what the head looks like on this version. So, yeah. But then again, I just prefer to keep the other head on because it helps differentiate the two, in my opinion. So, let's do articulation for the opposite bots because I did not show them off in transformation. I'm going to show them off in articulation. So for Shadow Panther here, there is a ball joint at the head, and as you can see here, that this is the more mutant mask inspired head compared to the regular cheetah head with a Autobot symbol, because I think he was an Autobot originally, not a Maximal. So yeah, head can look up and down that far, side to side. Arms are on a butterfly joint due to transformation. Can rotate around. Can't do the full 360 because of this piece here, but hey, it works. So arms can go up that far, can do a full rotation, then can go a little bit over 90 degrees of bend. Has a wrist rotation, which is really nice. Has a waist rotation, which is really good. Legs can go forward that far, can go back not that far, can go out comfortably that far. Has a thigh swivel, a little under 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then the ankle can go forward and back, and has a pretty decent ankle pivot. And also really nice silver paint down there. Helps to break out all the like midnight black. So I know he's called Shadow Panther, but this is a lot of it. This is a lot of shadow. But yeah, let's move on to Sky Wasp. Also, his weapon is cleverly hidden here in the tail, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. Also, I don't think it's blast effect compatible. Well, I think it's trying to be. It doesn't work, unfortunately. There's a ball joint going down into the head right here. Can you do a full wiggly waggly? Antennae here can move. And also, this is what I mean by you can just take it off of the mushroom peg to give it more of a clean look. Which is honestly how I just tend to display my Waspinator, because it just helps, honestly. So, there is a waist rotation, but it does bump into the mandibles. The legs can go forward that far, and go back not that far because of the butt. Also, the arms can do a full 360, can go out that far. Bicep. There is a bicep rotation, it's just really tight on my copy for some reason. Elbows can go to 90. This can also, the wrists can rotate, which is really nice. Again, waist rotation, hips. Knees can go to 90, and ankles can pivot really nicely. And also there's some toe tilt, which is really nice. But yeah, let's do some quick size comparisons. Come on, there we go. Here are the Waspinator and Cheetor molds compared to the Tarantulas mold, to the Black Arachnia mold. Again, this video is going to be now titled the review where all the figures fall over. I swear to God, I am not even kidding. I am going to lose it. No, we're using Black Arachnia for this because she has slightly tighter ankles. So, next to Black Arachnia. Next to Black Arachnia. Next to Pterosaur. And Scorponok, who's the shortest out of all of them. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're moving up into the Voyagers. So, we are going to do the monkey. So, this is Nemesis Primal, Nemesis repaint of Optimus Primal, which is pretty cool, in my opinion, and also from a 4-pack along with the Black Arachnia figure, if I'm correct. Yeah. So. Sorry, brain fart. So to start off with, head can move up and down and can look side to side. And honestly, the arms is going to be the arm articulation in robot mode. And this is just a slightly more limited version of the legs from the robot mode. So just getting some toe articulation downwards here. So, but anyway, let's get on to the robot mode. Starting off with, bring the shoulders up and click into place. It's a lot tighter on this mold. Bring this around, tab it into place. Bring this entire section back, fold it up, rotate this around, fold this in, and rotate all this around. Also make sure to flip out the shoulder guns. Come on, there we go. Then flip out the chest, fold that up, rotate this around, fold the knees in, fold the feet out. Here we have Nemesis Primal in his robot mode, and in my opinion, I like this a bit more than my Optimus Primal. This is the one I mess with more so than him, because on that version there's some paint chipping that I mentioned on his thighs, and honestly, I feel like the tolerances on this guy are a little bit better in some places, just a little bit. But anywho, he also comes with 2 swords, which is essentially just repainted from Optimus Primal, but the difference is he has the masthead, which is the essentially his jetpack, which is his more toy accurate face. Well, one of them anyway, not the mutant mask, which honestly I'm surprised they didn't go for this version. But then again, I guess I didn't have it on the mold. But yeah, this is a good toy, trust me. But anywho, also look at that beautiful metallic paint on the chest there, including the cyan blue, I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Also, his wrist cannons. Ooh. Again, just such beautiful paint on this guy that I'm surprised he hasn't gotten another re-release or a repaint. I'm surprised they haven't done more Optimus themed repaints of this mold. I feel like it honestly could work. I'm pretty sure someone customized a Ultra Magnus color scheme out of this, and honestly, I think that worked. But anywho, articulation. There is a ball joint at the head, can do a full 360 and can look up. Really nice. Shoulder cannons can move around and also are blast effect compatible. Same thing goes for the wrist cannons. Arms can do a full 360. There is a slight butterfly joint. Full rotation here at the elbows, or at the full rotation here at the bicep, and then a over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrist swivel, opening hands. There is a waist rotation. Arms can go out that far. Legs can go forward that far, and back that far, and out that far. There is a thigh swivel. Knees can go to 90. There's also an ankle pivot, which isn't much, but it's nice, and it works. So yeah. So, honestly, if you can hunt this guy down for a reasonable price by himself, then I do say go for it if you haven't experienced this mold and like Nemesis color versions of essentially primes. So if you can get this guy for a reasonable price, because from what I hear on the aftermarket, he's expensive, so I'm probably going to be keeping him. So yeah. So here he is next to the pterosaur. Get this guy standing all straight up. Here he is next to the tarantulas mold. That is falling over, I swear to God. There we go. Here he is next to the Cheetor mold. And honestly, I feel like these two pair really well together as a kind of shattered glass version of the, well, father-son dynamic that they kind of had during Beast Wars. Here he is next to Black Arachnia. Here he is next to the Waspinator mold. That was an interesting exit. Okay. And here he is next to Scorponok. So, yeah, all in all, good toys. And now let's continue with Legacy Inferno. The final Predacon I think we got during, the first run of Legacy. And he's not bad. Then again, I haven't really messed with him all that much. I sort of got him to go with the rest of my Predacons, but then again, he is a good figure. He is a good figure. And also a gigantic ant with a giant gun strapped to the top, which this is essentially his thruster in robot mode, because, well, I'll explain it when we get to that. But yeah, this is his only weapon. Kind of sucks in my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, so let's go for articulation of this guy. The antenna can move up and down. The legs are on a series of mushroom pegs and pins, so these can move as much as you want. These are solid, so they move only forward and back. And these only move up and down. So you do get some head movement with the pincers opening it up and such. But yeah, he is a giant fire ant, just like he was in the original show. So let's get the transformation. First off, untab this, and then untab these panels from the legs, revealing some nice blue paint. Like, that is really nice. I'm surprised they don't use this more. Then here we have the legs. And we'll collapse them. And fold the feet out. Like so. And bring it down. And we can fold this panel out. Then we have essentially the spinning ass. Which was in the original show. Was in the show. Okay, now rotate this around. Unfold arms from the essentially ant chest and bring all of this out. Just move the freaking giant, like, ant arms out of the way. Bring this down, open this up, and then I'll reveal the head with this screaming maw. Just look at that. The man was born to scream. So, and also some nice detail I think that gets used on the scavenger or slash antagony version of this mold. I think this is meant to be like a scavenger reference, I think. I don't know. A Beast Wars scavenger. I don't really know. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah. Fold the pincers up and then fold it into the chest. Then we can close the head of the ant all up, and then we just tap it all into place, I hope. Oh, that's how it works. I don't remember. There we go. So, this guy, again, has a similar problem that I have with the, like, other spider bots, is that his ant mode legs do not really have a place to go or can be unattached, really, because they're all just stuck on him like barbs, which I can work around, but it is a bit annoying, in my opinion. Yeah, also, you can store this thing right here. Recreating his, like, jet engine butt. I'm pretty sure you can get upgrade kits to give him his actual flamethrowers. I think. But yeah, you can't just rip it out and then just give it to him as a gun, which, it works, it's fine. Not something I normally do, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, let me get that out of his hands, and then we can go over articulation. So for the head, we get a ball joint at the neck, and technically a bit of a hinge, thanks to transformation. Also, his mouth opens up, so he can scream into your face. Because he was a maniacal, crazed bot that thought Megatron was a queen. Though, by technicality, he's not wrong. It was the running joke. Yeah, also the butt back here spins, kind of like how it did in the show, with a weird sound. I don't really know what you do with these back vestigial legs. Like, if it doesn't make any sense. But yeah. Head is on hinge, ball joint combo. Shoulders have a hinge butterfly joint, which is pretty nice. Full rotation here at the shoulder with arms that only go out that far. There is a bicep rotation. Double jointed elbows. Wrist rotation. And you technically move this out of the way as well. There is a waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far. And go back that far. Knees are double jointed. And ankles can go to 90. Which is not bad. And also you get some downward tilt thanks to the transformation. Which is not bad, but honestly, it's again a looseness of the joints, which is, again, I would say a buyer's problem. It's your case varies. So, good figure. If you want an Inferno for your Beast Wars collection that, exists, then honestly I say go for this guy. Assuming he's not going to fall over. So yeah. Stay. Okay. Quick comparisons. Here he is next to Pterosaur. Here he is next to the Cheetor mold. Here he is with Waspinator, one of the other bug bots. There he is next to Tarantulas. these. There. And here he is next to the Black Arachnia mold. So, pretty much, well, actually, one more. Here he is next to Scorponok. So, honestly, not bad, but like, I don't know, it's just all bugs. So let's get into the dinosaurs. So get everyone here out of the way. Oh, wait, actually, one more comparison, since I just reminded myself. There is Inferno with his, essentially his queen, that being Transmetal 2 Dragon Megatron, of which I'll have his review in the description below. So, let's get them out of the way, and then we'll move on to the last Voyager of the review, that being Toy Accurate Dinobot. And, raw chicken is the best joke that everyone here has made about this toy, because just look at it. Just look at it. Like, the chicken couldn't get any more raw even if it tried. Like, just wow. Sorry, just readjusting a little bit. So, yeah. Pretty much the same mold as the Dinobot that I reviewed in the past, just with like one different change, and that's just with the head. So yeah, articulation for this guy. Jaw opens. That's it, nothing at the head. Arms that can rotate, can go out. They're on a hinge here and a ball joint here at the very droopy hand. This is pretty much going to be the arms, and the tail doesn't move. But let's get started on transformation. Let's remove the tail, put it off to the side because those become just accessories. Fold the hands in. And move the arms out. Untab the legs from the sides here. Bring all this up and out. Then bring the entirety of the leg section out. Fold in these panels. Fold out the feet, and fold out the heel spurs, and do the same thing on the opposite side. So there we have the entire bottom half all done, and well, we got this. So, untap all this, rotate it around, fold the head down, bring all this around, and make sure that this tab goes into the back of the head right here, where my fingertip is. And then you just collapse all this back here. Fold out this panel, fold out this panel, just bring these arms back out, and then bring all this down, bring this side down, and then you just fill in the gaps on the sides here. Just like so. Just like so. Rotate this around, straighten this out, close the claws, do the same thing on the opposite side, and here we have Toy Accurate Dinobot in his robot mode. And it looks fine. I do like the head on this guy, but the rest of him, yeah, it's just the raw chicken look. I don't like this pale, weird, flesh-colored pink. It looks wrong, and also it doesn't help that it's yellowed, especially here on the, like, moving parts. Which sucks, but hey. So yeah, let's compare this guy to what his original version looked like. So here's the original Dinobot, so much better in coloration in my opinion than this guy. But I do like this guy's head. I wish I could keep his head, but I don't know. I'm just probably going to keep this guy and I don't know, sell him. Like, he's not bad. It's a good mold, but like, the coloration is just yeesh. So yeah. Also, while I have comparisons in progress, here is Nemesis Primal compared to his Prime counterpart. Oh, there we go. So yeah, just cool. And also, just quickly, here is Cheetor, and come on, stand, please, stand, thank you, and Night Prowler, and Shadow Panther. So, yeah, just all the decos that I have of this mold, and then one of them I'm probably going to get rid of. Probably him, because he's just this guy with a snow leopard paint job. But yeah. So, back to this guy. He also has a very wobbly waist. Like, I shouldn't be able to wiggle it that much. It's yeesh. I don't know if any version of this mold doesn't suffer from this problem. Let me know in the comments. Or if you know any way of fixing this wobbly issue. Because I have no idea without fusing the joint in some way. But yeah, articulation. Head is on a ball joint. Really nice. Arms can do a full 360. Can go out that far and can also go up that far. Bicep swivel. Elbows that can bend to 90. Wrist swivel. Finger articulation, technically, because this was the foot. And then ports in the hand to accommodate his accessories. His spitting shield. And his sword. So, then he also has a waist swivel. Legs can go forward that far, can go back, not that all. Can go out that far. Has a thigh swivel. Knees can go to a little bit over 90. Ankles can bend downwards and can go to the full 90. Honestly, again, I say good mold. I'm pretty sure I said this during my Beast Wars, like, Season 1 cast review, is honestly go for the Takara repaints of these molds. Especially because A, they're sold in 2 packs because it includes a Maximal and a Predacon. Thus, you'll have the entire Season 1 cast, like, in just like a few multi-packs. So, yeah. Again, good mold. So yeah, then you'll get size comparisons for these guys at the end because just time. So yeah. So let's move on to the final bot of this review, being T-wreaks. Not T-rex, like R-E-X. This is like T-rex, like a wrecking crew. And this is essentially just a heavy repaint of the Beast Wars Megatron mold. So, yeah. With all the, well, I say all the flaws because, then again, this guy fixes something that the original mold had a problem with. Stand, please. There we go. So, articulation-wise for this T-Rex, head can look side to side, jaw can open up and scream. You can put a blast effect in there, because that is 5mm compatible if you want your, I don't know, it's screaming something and then vomiting up something, I don't know. And face planting. So, Arms are on ball joints. Legs can go forward that far and can go back that far. You're limited because of this section here, because it's, there we go. Because it is limited on this rail right here. Tail can go side to side back here. It can also rotate. And so can the entire block here. So you can get a semi-natural tail movement here, but like not much. And the knees can bend, and this is just the regular leg articulation. And considering this guy wants to be transformed, let's get this started. So start off with, get these giant panels out and over, just like that. Flip these up, just like so. Then just straighten it all up. Fold, turn this around. Fold this out. And then we can untab the entirety of the middle section here. Flip out the head. And I haven't transformed this guy much. Fold this down, around, like that. Fold this out of the way. Let those fold down. Fold these in. Like so. Tab that for the side there, turn this around. And then we can bring this all down like so. Then we can just move the hip pieces inward. And before we put them up into place, because they kind of slide in on a rail, like in a rail right here, you have to connect them first. And this is what it fixes on from the original mold, because on the original mold it doesn't really tab in all that solidly, but on this version it does, thus leaving you without all too much of a gap right here. So now let's clean up the arms. Bring this down, rotate it around, and then fold out these panels onto the side of the arm. These rubber bits can be very annoying. Come on, let's go. There we go. So unfold the arm out, then bring it down. The official transformation has you put it like this, but I feel like that limits the elbow. So I tend to just rotate it around, and then boom, you get a better elbow, in my opinion. So just also don't forget to collapse this entire backpack upwards, so that way it looks more compact. And here we have T-wreaks in their robot mode, and honestly, not a bad looking robot mode. But do note, I have customized this a little bit. All this blue you see hanging out here on the gray, that is all me custom painting it, because it was just a sea of gray. I'm not even kidding. It was just so dull looking. Like, so I decided to spruce it up a little bit by adding some, like, just metallic blue. One that matched the same metallic blue that's on the entirety of the dinosaur. Like, it makes it look so much better, in my opinion, and I wonder why they didn't just do this from the start. It's weird, but anywho. One second. So yeah, well, I know they meant to do with the rubber bits here. Like, I know what their entire purpose was, to make it feel more leathery, I guess is the best way to say it. I feel like this honestly could have been done a lot better with, like, hard plastic, instead of, like, me having to force the, like, things through. Maybe having hard plastic, and thus they don't have to, like, collide with each other and then bend in shapes that aren't right, because as you can see here, like, it's starting to come off, and like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but like, it's again just weird of why would you do it. So yeah, let me get some quick comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to Dinobot, and with Night Prowler, the only other good guys in this review, I guess to say, for lack of a better term. And here he is next to, essentially, because this is the Megatron mold, here he is next to what is essentially the sequel to it, that being Transmold 2 Megatron. I do have a lot more fun with him, mostly because he doesn't have all that much of the same rubbery feel that a lot of this figure has. Also, no ratchet joints, which is a bit missed, in my opinion. Stay. There we go. That should be better. Okay. Tarantulas and Black Arachnia molds. I was too tired of her falling over. I just put her on a stand. So that's better. So next to Nemesis Primal. Very interesting kind of shattered glass thing going on. If that makes any sense. A lot better than whatever, I think, because I think there was originally a Beast Wars Shattered Glass thing where he had the colors of Primal, which looked very off in my personal opinion. Waspinator mold, essentially, well, bigger than him. But yeah. So let's get on to articulation and then final comparison. So articulation, head is on, I think it's on a ball joint, but like, you don't really get the head tilt with it. You can get some up, but then again, you just start engaging the transformation. And also, if you look at his face, see the silver lip? That I'm pretty sure was meant to be, because I think the original version of this mold leaked out with a grinning head that did get used later on, but I think it was meant for this, because I think in promo shots this had that grinning face and the teeth were painted silver, so considering it's not there, the lip is painted silver. What the hell? Shoulders can do a full 360. Also, this one technically has a butterfly joint due to this being the neck of the T-Rex. Arms can go out that far. Biceps will 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The fist technically has articulation. I don't know why, but it does. Considering you're not gonna really fit much around all of this. I wish you could take this off. I think it might have been designed to, but due to budget and just figure stability, they decided against it, I guess. I don't know why. The other arm, on the other hand, if you have it in its standard configuration, you technically get under 90 degrees of bend, and you can technically fix that by using the head articulation here. Also, this full screen, but I tend to do this, so you get about over 90 degrees, and then you can still use this for the blast effects after the very tight rotation. That is, there you go. That's a little bit better, but hey. So yeah, there is a waist rotation, action feature, Legs can go forward that far, can go back that far, can go out not that far because of the side skirts or side guns here. But if you remove them down, you can get some more. There is a thigh rotation, and knees can go to 90, and there is a good amount of ankle tilt and some forward and backwards, which is honestly pretty good, especially for a leader class of this size. So yeah. So let's get everyone else in here for a final comparison and then final thoughts. Here is everyone we have reviewed today, and honestly, it's been a bit of a mixed bag in my opinion. A lot of these molds are good. Some of them, in my personal opinion, are not all that great. Some are just downright bad. Some are honestly pretty fine, but not my taste. And others are just my personal favorite. But yeah, honestly, it's been nice reviewing this Beast Wars B team, essentially, or well, Predacons slash Beast Wars B team review. And honestly, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought, and like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with all your friends, all those fun doodads, and have a good rest of your day. And let me know, out of all of these figures here, which one is your favorite? It could be because of the color scheme, could be because of character, it could be because of, I don't know, just straight up design. Let me know in the comments, and have a good rest of your day. This is me, signing out. Peace.